Breaking news. China's megadam may slow down Earth's rotation, experts warn. The headline flashes worldwide. Phones buzz from Beijing to New York, and social media erupts. The world wakes up to a new kind of threat, a dam so massive it could change how our planet spins. Scientists debate live. Can a dam really slow the Earth? Concern grows across Asia, from Dhaka's busy streets to remote villages. Water, once taken for granted, is suddenly a matter of survival. And it all starts with one ambitious project deep in Tibet's mountains. The Midog hydropower dam is colossal, stretching nearly 1,800 meters across the Yarlung Tsangpo, with a wall over 200 meters high. Its estimated cost, $15 billion, enough to fund several Olympic Games. But for China, it's about more than money or electricity. The dam will generate over 60 billion kilowatt-hours of electricity each year, enough to power a medium-sized country. It's part of a bigger push for green energy, at least on paper. The Midog Dam is a centerpiece in China's plan to transform Tibet into a global energy powerhouse. In the shadow of the Himalayas, China is building something that could shift the balance of power. The Yarlung Tsangpo begins as a trickle in Tibet's glaciers, then carves through one of the world's deepest gorges. Gathering strength, it becomes a roaring force, slicing through mountains and forests. As it bends into India, it becomes the Brahmaputra, a lifeline for millions. Its waters feed rice farmers, fishermen, and entire cities. But as glaciers melt, the river's flow grows unpredictable. For those downstream, any change means uncertainty about crops, water, and survival. A giant dam upstream isn't just local, it's a game changer for all of Asia. The Midog Dam is just the start. China's blueprint shows a vast web of dams, tunnels, and power stations across the upper Yarlung Tsangpo. Engineers call this a cascade system. At each step, the river drops through turbines, creating electricity before flowing on to the next dam. The scale is hard to imagine. Concrete walls, artificial lakes, and machine halls buried deep inside mountains. China claims most of these dams use a run-of-river design. That means, in theory, they don't hold back huge amounts of water. Instead, the river flows through the turbines and keeps going. Officials say this reduces the risk of massive floods and limits environmental harm. But the reality is more complicated. Even run-of-river dams can change water levels, especially when stacked in a series. They can trap sediment, block fish migration, and dry out wetlands downstream. And when the river is low, power companies may hold back water, leaving communities dry. Beneath the slogans about green energy, the true impact is hidden in engineering blueprints and confidential studies. The network of dams is the largest ever attempted in the Himalayas. It promises power for China, but uncertainty and even danger for everyone living downstream. India and Bangladesh are watching the Midog project with growing alarm. Both countries depend on the Brahmaputra for drinking water, irrigation, and food production. The idea that China could control the river's flow makes officials in Delhi and Dhaka deeply uneasy. They remember past incidents like when China built smaller dams upstream but failed to share flood data during the rainy season. In 2017, heavy rains caused deadly floods in northeastern India. Many blame China for withholding vital information. Trust is already low. India and China have fought border wars and skirmishes in the Himalayas. Water has become another front in this cold conflict. Bangladesh, downstream from both, fears it will be squeezed hardest if water is held back or suddenly released. Diplomats have tried to negotiate data-sharing deals, but the agreements are shaky, often breaking down when tensions rise. When floodwaters surge, so do suspicions. Each side accuses the other of playing politics with something as basic and vital as water. For communities along the Brahmaputra's banks, every dam built upstream feels like a gamble with their future. Water, once a shared resource, is quickly becoming a trigger for conflict. Tibet is often called the water tower of Asia. From its glaciers and high-altitude lakes, 10 major rivers flow south and east, feeding China, India, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, and Vietnam. Whoever controls Tibet controls the taps for nearly 2 billion people. China knows this. For decades, it has built dams and canals to divert water from the Tibetan plateau, mostly for its own use. In the last 20 years, China has completed more large dams than the rest of the world combined. Each new project tightens its grip on Asia's water supply. Neighboring countries worry. Vietnam and Cambodia have seen the mighty Mekong shrink, damaging fisheries and farms. India, already facing drought in some regions, fears losing control over the Brahmaputra. Even Chinese scientists warn that overdamming could harm the environment and trigger disputes. Water is power. In the 21st century, controlling rivers may matter more than oil or gas. For China, the Medog Dam is not just about electricity, it's about influence and leverage over the fate of an entire continent. Building a megadam in the Himalayas is not like building one on a flat plain. The region is one of the most seismically active on Earth. Fault lines snake beneath the mountains, shifting and grinding with unimaginable force. Earthquakes, landslides, and flash floods are common. Each new dam adds weight and pressure to unstable slopes. Engineers say they can manage the risks. They use special designs and sensors to monitor cracks and tremors. But the reality is, no technology can fully tame the power of nature here. When the ground shakes, even the strongest concrete can crumble. Environmentalists warn that dams change the way rivers move, increasing the chance of landslides and sudden floods. Blocking a river creates vast reservoirs. If a landslide falls into the water, it can send a giant wave crashing downstream, destroying everything in its path. The bigger the dam, the greater the danger if something goes wrong. In the Himalayas, a single mistake can trigger disaster on a massive scale. History gives chilling examples of what can happen when humans try to control these wild rivers. In 2013, a cloudburst in Uttarakhand, India, unleashed devastating floods. Dams and roads collapsed, entire villages were washed away, over 5,000 people died. Experts later said that overbuilding and deforestation made the disaster worse. In 2021, a glacier burst high in Uttarakhand, triggering a deadly landslide and flood. The surge destroyed a new hydropower plant and killed more than 200 people. Locals and scientists again pointed to dam construction and careless engineering as key factors. Tibet is no stranger to such threats. In 2000, a massive landslide dammed a river, flooding villages and forcing thousands to flee. Each year, earthquakes rattle the region. When rivers are blocked or diverted, the risks multiply. These disasters are warnings. The mountains are alive and unpredictable. Building the world's largest dam network here is more than ambitious. It's a gamble with lives and livelihoods. India is not sitting still. As China builds its mega dams upstream, India has launched its own hydropower projects on the Brahmaputra. The goal is to use it or lose it, to claim water rights before China can divert or control the flow. Plans for dozens of dams are on the table, especially in Arunachal Pradesh, a region claimed by both India and China. But these projects face fierce resistance from local tribes and environmentalists. Indigenous communities fear losing their land, homes, and way of life. Protests erupt as forests are cleared and rivers are dammed. In some places, construction is halted by court orders, but the pressure to compete with China remains. The dam race is heating up. Both countries talk about clean energy and development, but for people living along the riverbanks, the reality is often displacement, broken promises, and fear of the next disaster. As governments battle for control, the voices of those most affected are often drowned out. The struggle over water is not just about nations, it's about people, culture, and survival. In China, discussion of the Medog Dam is tightly controlled. Environmental impact studies are classified as state secrets. There is no open debate, no public hearings, and little room for dissent. Critics risk arrest or worse. The government insists the project is safe, green, and necessary for progress. But outside China, experts worry. They ask, what are the real risks? Can the environment survive so much concrete and steel? If a disaster strikes, who will pay the price? The answers are hidden behind walls, both physical and political. Bangladesh and India call for more transparency and cooperation. So far, their pleas have been met with silence or vague promises. As water becomes more valuable than oil, the stakes keep rising. Control over rivers means control over the region's future. For over 1 billion people, the outcome of this high-stakes gamble will decide who eats, who drinks, and who survives in a changing world.